Hi, I'm Joe. I compose music sometimes, but there are other people who also want to compose music sometimes. If you're one of those people, great! I hope these quick notes help you on your journey to compose music sometimes. Today, we're gonna talk about articulations. Articulations are timbral parameters that affect how notes are spoken. They are also very confusing to me for two reasons. Reason 1. Most articulations have a bit of wiggle room, which means you have to talk to your performers. This is unacceptable. Talking to people is scary. Reason 2. Most people think of 4 basic articulations. I'll show you these 4, and hopefully convince you why there are 3 basic articulations. Staccato in English means staccato, but in Italian, it means detached. But in Italian, detached means staccato. Staccato is represented with a dot on top of a note. The perfect example of a staccato is the snare drum. Now, if we can have short and detached notes, the opposite must be true. Tenuto means held, and that's exactly what this bar over the note is doing. Depending on the passage of music, the decay can be really abrupt, or they just fizzle out. We've talked about the release and duration, but what about the start of a note? If you're familiar with dynamics, you'll notice that the accent looks like a tiny decrescendo symbol. That's pretty much what an accent does. Our attack is crisp and loud, followed by a gradual decay to the bass loudness. What if we want a sharper decay? Now time for the last, allegedly, basic articulation. Marcato, a marked note with a caret on top. This is one of the more dubious markings, as the purpose of it changes from genre to genre, and what I mean by this is, no matter how hard I try or ask, I can never get a straight answer out of performers. What does a marcato mean? From my experience, the defining characteristic of the marcato is a sharper attack and quicker decay than the regular accent. It's almost as if you could call it an accent. Speaking of, now that we know the detached staccato, held tenuto, emphatic accent, and turbo-emphatic marcato, we can mix and match them to create different articulations. Staccato in itself create the staccatissimo. This is cool because it uses the issimo suffix, meaning very. We have a very detached note. What a good logical word. I sure hope this naming convention stays for the rest of the articulations. Anyway, staccatissimo is represented by a wedge, and it makes your note very detached. Truly the most underrated articulation. Staccato and tenuto combine to create portato. This seems counterintuitive. You want something detached and held at the same time? String instruments will know more. Accented staccatos are stressed and detached, and marked staccatos are very stressed and detached. Here's our table. Tenuto combined with tenuto can be thought of in 2 ways. The first is the fermata. You hold the note for a long time. Longer. Even longer. I hope you aren't a wind instrumentalist. If you tenuto over multiple notes and connect them, you can use legato or slurs to showcase some smooth and seamless selections of sound. Sweet! Tenuto also combines with accents and marcatos to create stressed hold and mega stressed hold. Use these with caution, your notes may be afraid. Here's our table. An accent with an accent is a marcato. Maybe I still can't get a straight answer. I mean, I've tried interrogation, but even being polite doesn't work. I've also seen an accent tower. Why is this real? Now, portato from before was already kinda messy, but it gets a free pass for looking like a hat. This, however, is supposed to be stronger than itself, and weaker. This doesn't exist. Finally, the marcato. Please use SFZ. Well, we have successfully mapped out our very not confusing articulation table. We have our 4 basic articulations and our compound articulations. Except we don't, they break the universe. Let's turn this table into one with 3 basic articulations. It makes a lot more sense. Ultimately, what is our takeaway? Today, we learned that articulations are kinda weird. They have strange names, and some have funny symbols. There are 3 basic articulations, which can combine together to make compound articulations. And many of the articulations' roles can change depending on the music people write. Music education has very little consistency, and I will abuse this fact for many more videos. Thank you for watching this video, and always remember, stay safe and stay hydrated.